St. Patrick's Day, or the Feast of St. Patrick, Irish, La File Padraig, lit. They call the day the Festival of Patrick. It is a religious and cultural holiday. People celebrate the holiday on 17th March. That is the traditional death date of St. Patrick, the foremost patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day became an official Christian feast day in the early 17th century. The Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Lutheran Church all observe it. This is especially true for the Church of Ireland. The day commemorates St. Patrick and the arrival of Christianity in Ireland. It also celebrates the heritage and culture of the Irish in general. Celebrations have parades, festivals, and Sailith. People also wear green clothes or shamrocks. Liturgical Christians attend church services. In the past, people could eat and drink alcohol without limits for the day during Lent. This encouraged the holiday's tradition of alcohol consumption. St. Patrick's Day is a public holiday in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. It is also a holiday in the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador. It is for provincial government employees. It is a holiday in the British Overseas Territory of Montserrat. It is also widely celebrated in the United Kingdom, Canada, Brazil, and the United States. It is also big in Argentina, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. This is especially true among the Irish diaspora. More countries celebrate St. Patrick's Day than any other national festival. The Irish diaspora has greatly influenced modern celebrations. This is especially true for those in North America. But people have criticized St. Patrick's Day celebrations. They say the celebrations focus too much on money. They have led to harmful stereotypes of the Irish. St. Patrick was a 5th century Romano-British Christian missionary and bishop in Ireland. We know much about St. Patrick from the Declaration. Allegedly, Patrick wrote it. Historians believe he was born in Roman Britain. This was in the 4th century, into a wealthy Romano-British family. His father was a deacon, and his grandfather was a priest in the Christian church. Irish raiders kidnapped him at 16. They took him as a slave to Gaelic Ireland, as stated in the Declaration. It says he spent 6 years there as a shepherd. During this time, he found God. The Declaration says that God told Patrick to flee to the coast, where a ship would be waiting to take him home. After making his way home, Patrick went on to become a priest. According to tradition, Patrick returned to Ireland. His goal was to convert the pagan Irish to Christianity. The Declaration says that he spent many years evangelizing in Northern Ireland. He converted thousands. Patrick's efforts became an allegory. In it, he drove snakes out of Ireland. The snakes were heathen practices, but actual snakes were not known to live in the region. According to tradition, he died on 17th March, and Downpatrick buried him. Over the following centuries, many legends grew up around Patrick. He became Ireland's top saint. The Irish diaspora has greatly shaped today's St. Patrick's Day. This influence is most strong in North America. Until the late 20th century, St. Patrick's Day was a bigger celebration among the diaspora. It was bigger there than in Ireland. Celebrations usually have public parades and festivals. They also have Irish music sessions, Tailitha, and wear green clothes or shamrocks. There are also formal events like banquets and dances. These were more common in the past. St. Patrick's Day parades began in 18th century North America. However, they did not spread to Ireland until the 20th century. The participants include marching bands, the military, and fire brigades. Also, there are cultural groups, charities, and other groups. These include voluntary, youth, and fraternity groups. However, many parades have become more akin to a carnival over time. people are making more effort to use the Irish language. This is especially true in Ireland. There, from 1st March to St. Patrick's Day on 17th March, is Sextan na Gaeilge, Irish Language Week. Since 2010, famous landmarks have lit up in green on St. Patrick's Day. This is part of Tourism Ireland's Global Greening Initiative. It is also called Going Green for St. Patrick's Day. The Sydney Opera House and the Sky Tower in Auckland were the first landmarks to participate. Since then, over 300 landmarks in 50 countries have gone green for St. Patrick's Day. Christians may also attend church services. For the day, they lift the Lenten limits on eating and drinking. That may be why drinking alcohol has become a key part of the celebrations. People drink Irish whiskey, beer, or cider. In Ireland, they relax fasting rules. The consumption of stout, a dark ale beer key to the celebration, marks this event. Breweries prepare for the demand months in advance. The custom was to drown the shamrock, or wet the shamrock. It was popular on St. Patrick's Day. At the end of the celebrations, especially in Ireland, people put a shamrock into the bottom of a cup. Then fill it with whiskey, beer, or cider. It is then drunk as a toast to St. Patrick, Ireland, or those present. The drink would swallow the shamrock, or someone would take it out and toss it over the shoulder for good luck. Irish government ministers travel abroad on official visits. They go to various countries around St. Patrick's Day to promote Ireland. On St. Patrick's Day, people wear shamrocks. They also wear green clothes or accessories. They say St. Patrick used the shamrock, a three-leaved plant. He used it to explain the Holy Trinity to the pagan Irish. This story first appears in writing in 1726, though it may be older. In pagan Ireland, 3 was significant. The Irish had many triple deities. These may have aided St. Patrick in his efforts to spread Christianity. Roger Homan writes, "We can see St. Patrick perhaps drawing upon the Triskele. He uses the shamrock to explain the Trinity." Patricia Monahan says the pagan Irish did not consider the shamrock sacred. Jack Santino thinks it may have symbolized nature's regenerative powers. It was later put in a Christian context. Icons of St. Patrick often show him with a cross in one hand and a sprig of shamrocks in the other. The first link of the color green with Ireland is from a legend. The legend is in the 11th century Libor Gabala Erin, the Book of the Taking of Ireland. It tells of Goidel Glas, Goidel the Green. He is the ancestor of the Gaels and creator of the Goidelic languages, Irish, Scottish, Gaelic, Manx. A venomous snake bites Goidel, but Moses saves him from death by placing his staff on the snakebite. This leaves Goidel with a green mark. His descendants settled in Ireland, a land free of snakes. One of the first, Ith, visits Ireland. He climbed the Tower of Hercules. The sight of a pretty green island in the distance captivated him. The color green was also linked to Ireland from the 1640s. The Irish Catholic Confederation used the green harp flag. Later, James Connolly described this flag. He said it represented the sacred emblem of Ireland's unconquered soul. People have been wearing green ribbons and shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day since at least the 1680s. Since then, the color green and its association with St. Patrick's Day have grown. The Friendly Brothers of St. Patrick was an Irish fraternity. Someone founded it around 1750. They adopted green as their color. The Order of St. Patrick was an Anglo-Irish chivalric order founded in 1783. It adopted blue as its color. St. Patrick became associated with the color blue as a result of this. In the 1790s, the United Irishmen adopted the color green. This was a Republican organization. Mostly Protestants founded it, but with many Catholic members. They launched a rebellion in 1798 against British rule. Ireland got its nickname the Emerald Isle in When Erin First Rose, 1795. It's a poem by a co-founder of the United Irishmen, William Drennan. The poem stresses the historical importance of green to the Irish. The phrase "wearing of the green" comes from a song of the same name. The song portrays the persecution of United Irishmen for wearing green. The flags of the 1916 Easter Rising were green. They featured the Starry Plough banner. They also had the proclamation flag of the Irish Republic. The Irish Free State founded in 1922. The government ordered painting all post boxes green. They should have the slogan, "Green paint for a green people." In 1924, the government introduced a green Irish passport. The wearing of the St. Patrick's Day cross was also a popular custom in Ireland until the early 20th century. These were a Celtic Christian cross made of paper. They were covered with silk or ribbon of different colors. In the center was a bunch or rosette of green silk.